Once you have carved your image into your plate, and your plate is truly leather hard, so it is cold to the touch but will not bend if you apply pressure, you can do some final smoothing. So I may use my wooden rib and just kind of drag it along the surface to pull out any remaining lumps and bumps. I can use my fingers with some heavy pressure now because I know the clay is not going to change its shape. And then I am going to use my larger brush to kind of brush out those clay crumbs that gather when you are carving your image into the plate. I also take my pencil or the barbecue skewer that I provided you, and I'll go in and just pull out little bits of clay that tend to get stuck into the carvings. My clay is no longer sticky, so it's easier for me to go in and clean things up. When your clay is sticky, you create new crumbs, and then those new crumbs stick, and so it can be frustrating. So you want to make sure that your plate is truly leather hard before you go in and do your cleanup. You can see that my lines are not super deep into the surface and that they're about as wide as the tip of a dull pencil. So that is what you're looking for. Really thin lines do not work for this project. So if you have super thin lines, you'll probably have to go in and open them back up a little bit more. So you have your three colors that you chose, and these are called underglazes. Underglazes are technically a clay body that has been dyed a specific color. This is why you can use these glazes on raw clay. You're going to need 3 coats. Go ahead and shake the glaze up really, really well. Make sure your finger is on the lid of your baby food jar. You can open it up, and what you're going to do is you are only going to fill the lines that you just carved. So whatever color you want your lines to be, that's the only thing you are working about right now. Your line work should be one single color. I am choosing black. I switch between using my small brush and my medium brush, and you want to load that brush up with paint or glaze, and you're going to blot it into your lines. It is more important for you to fill up the lines with paint rather than try to be precise about your application. So I'm filling my bristles with glaze, really loading them up with glaze, and then I am blotting the glaze into the lines. You want to think about your lines as like a pool, and you're trying to fill the pool with this glaze. So you'll kind of see it like fill up with the black liquid. That is your goal. Do not worry about your application being a little bit messy. The next step in this process is the scraping process, so it will come out clean. So you can see for some of this I'm switching to the small brush, really just trying to get in there and make sure that color is going into the carving. This is why your lines need to be thicker like the dull tip of a pencil. You don't want to do your pen tool. You'll never get the glaze into your carvings. The neat thing about underglaze is that you can put it on raw clay, but you can also put it on bisque fired clay. And it fires the color that it looks. So if you've picked up blue, it will fire blue. If you've picked up pink, it will fire pink. So it's very different from the bucket glazes. Underglaze also does not have glass in it, so it will not have that shiny effect that regular bucket glazes have. We will get the shiny effect from an additional step in this process after your plates have been bisque fired. And underglazes do not run. So a bucket glaze, you might paint a design onto a project and the colors run because of the silica content. Underglazes stay right where you put them. So you could paint like a checkered pattern, or you could paint something very specific on a piece and it stays put, which is why it's great for this Mishima assignment. So there we go. You are going to do this 3 times, maybe 4. The important thing is that you have to let each coat dry in between. So that black layer of glaze has to dry completely before I add my second layer. And then again before I add my third layer. While I'm letting the surface dry, I can rest my plate inside my plastic bag to keep my plate from drying out any further.